Life doesn't change because of a grand event. It changes in the quiet moments of realization. That's how Ja-Cheong's story begins, a man who seemed painfully ordinary, trapped in the patterns of failure and self-doubt, until he decided to dismantle the way he thought and rebuild the system that shaped his world. He called himself a reverse walker, someone who swims against the current, reads how the world works, and writes his own rules. He wasn't born gifted. He grew up in an average household in Seoul. Never top of the class, never popular. Throughout school, he felt like he was always behind. Grades were low, confidence even lower. Success felt like a story that happened to other people. Then, in his early 20s, he did something he'd never done before. He looked at himself honestly. Why am I always stuck in the same place? He realized the problem wasn't the world. It was the architecture of his own thinking. I had lived my entire life without ever analyzing my thoughts, he said. I never questioned my emotions, never doubted what I believed to be true. He began to see himself as a system, a program made up of emotions, habits, words, actions, and relationships. If the program was written wrong, the results would always be wrong. So he decided to rewrite it from scratch. That's where the journey begins, with the dismantling of self-consciousness. Every day, he wrote a journal. Whenever he felt angry or discouraged, he asked himself why. Where did this emotion come from? Is it real, or just a habit? He discovered that most emotions are simply habitual reactions, echoes from the past, not the present. When he felt ignored, it wasn't reality. It was the residue of childhood insecurity. So he recorded every feeling, labeled it, and detached it. This isn't me, he'd write. It's just a reaction. That's how he began to see himself objectively. To dismantle the self is not to destroy it, it's to observe it. He started treating his emotions as data, not destiny. He scored his mood out of 10 each day and tracked his behavior like numbers in a spreadsheet. After weeks of doing this, something remarkable happened. The waves of emotion settled. He was no longer tossed around by feelings, he could steer them. Controlling emotion, he realized, doesn't mean ignoring it. It means understanding its source. After dismantling the self, he moved on to reprogramming the unconscious. Our unconscious mind is a library of everything we've ever absorbed. Our parents' words, our teachers' expectations, society's invisible rules. Together they form the hidden code that says, I'm not good enough, or I can't change. To rewrite that code, he started bringing the unconscious into the light of awareness. He asked himself daily, what kind of life do I truly want? Are my current actions leading me there? At first, silence. Then, slowly, patterns began to appear. He saw that his anxiety wasn't an enemy, it was proof of growth. So instead of fighting it, he welcomed it. He began to see discomfort as a compass pointing towards transformation. From then on, he became his own engineer, designing a new system for himself. Every emotion, habit, and decision became a variable in a larger algorithm. He wasn't chasing motivation, he was building structure. He often said, every problem in life is a system problem. Emotions, relationships, money, work. Fix the system, and the problem dissolves. The heart of his system was time and energy management. He divided his day into 30-minute blocks, recording and analyzing everything. He cut unnecessary meetings, muted social media, and replaced distraction with deliberate learning. People save money, he said, but they waste time. Time never returns. True wealth belongs to those who own their time. By investing his time instead of spending it, he built what he called the compound interest of knowledge. He read every day, not to memorize, but to connect ideas. At first, it was confusing. Then, books started talking to each other. Psychology linked to economics, philosophy linked to business. He realized that knowledge doesn't just add, it multiplies. Money shrinks when you spend it, he said, but knowledge compounds forever. His journals became his second brain, a map of insights and experiments. He stopped studying to pass exams and began studying to ask questions. Not how do I solve this, but why does this problem exist? He discovered that success was never luck. It was simply understanding structure. Success, he said, belongs not to the talented, but to those who understand patterns. As he decoded those patterns, the world looked different. Where others saw chaos, he saw systems. People lived by emotion, he lived by design. To him, the world was one massive algorithm. Every result had an input. If the input stays the same, the output can never change. So he focused on changing his inputs, his routines, his decisions, his beliefs. He treated himself less like a person, more like a program that evolves through updates. Each day was an iteration. Through this, he learned that the truly wealthy aren't those who earn the most, but those who build systems that work without them. He created multiple income streams, but more importantly, systems that continued running when he wasn't around. Effort fades, he said, but systems remain. He described life as 3 stages: survival, freedom, and influence. In the survival stage, you need money. In the freedom stage, you need systems. And in the influence stage, you need purpose and value. He was moving into that final stage, creating something that mattered, helping others find their own frameworks. He didn't claim perfection. I'm not a finished human, he said. I'm just a system that keeps updating. Every day he failed a little, learned a little, and adjusted a little. That was the essence of the reverse walker's mindset. The world doesn't deceive you, he said. You just haven't learned to read it yet. When you can observe yourself, design systems, and operate them consciously, you stop surviving and start steering. He also spoke often about intangible assets: knowledge, trust, habits, and reputation. These, he said, are the true currencies of life. Money can be lost, but these assets appreciate with time. He built trust deliberately through honesty, reliability, and consistency. When people trust you, opportunities appear without effort. Luck, he realized, is just the surface ripple of accumulated trust. Reversal, he said, isn't rebellion. It's quietly, yet firmly, walking your own path against the flow. It's not loud, it's often lonely, but at the end of that path, true freedom begins. He would ask, are you following the current or reversing it? The moment you choose to go against it, you stop being a victim and become a player in the game of life. His own journey proved it. An ordinary young man learned to understand systems, to redesign thought, to reconstruct his life. He no longer followed rules, he wrote them. Life, he said, is nothing but a sequence of choices. And the thoughts you choose become the life you live. To change your life, change the way you think. Most people drift with the current. A few learn to ride against it. They are the reverse walkers, the ones who reshape the map. You don't need to be special, he said. You just need to be awake. The world keeps changing, but only those who stay conscious of that change keep growing. To live consciously, to notice your habits, your emotions, your actions. That is where reversal begins. So now, it's your turn. It's okay to feel anxious. It's okay to feel afraid. Those feelings are signals, the first tremors of transformation. Don't silence them. Listen to them. Design your own system. Update yourself. little by little, every single day. That's how you rewrite your story. Life happens only once. You can float with the stream, or you can swim against it. That choice will define everything. Your life isn't finished. Right now, this very moment, you can rebuild the system. Change your thinking, and your actions will follow. Change your actions, and your life will change. If even one line of this story stirred something inside you, your reversal has already begun. Stop following the flow. Read it, understand it, then move against it. This is the life of a reverse walker. To update oneself, to interpret the world, and to live with awareness and freedom. And if this story resonated with you, and you'd like to keep exploring ideas that help you think deeper, live freer, and lead your own system, please subscribe and like this channel. That small action might just be the start of your own quiet revolution. Thank you for listening, and may your tomorrow be more awake than today.